Morning, everybody. Am I the only one who's been lost all week? I thought I'd try and go live. Maybe somebody will catch on and come up and see. My little dog's barking. This ain't gonna work. It's a beautiful sunrise right there. I know, am I gonna have to sit here and hold this camera the whole time? How am I gonna open my Red Bull? Listen to this. Yes. It's almost worth the price of admission just to see this. What time is 7:01 my time? I can't wait till that corn's picked off out there. It's, I don't know, probably 7, 8 feet high. And once it's picked off, you'll actually be able to see it when it first crests the horizon back there. But I'm not complaining. Who come in to see me today? Good morning. Nice to see somebody this morning. Am I the only one been going crazy without having Hawgleg and them on? Well, I figured I'd do something about it today. I know I was getting bored. Hey, Brandon, how are you, buddy? I guess, I don't know. Most people probably ain't expecting nobody to be live today, so they're not seeing it. But man, I was just lost without having Hogleg's show. Hey, Grace, how you doing? A nice little sunrise for you guys this morning. Thank you, Grace. If you guys can, I don't know what they do. I'm not really versed at this. Send that out or whatever they do. I don't even know how to do that, to be honest with you. Maybe people can come in and enjoy the sunrise with us. I was just real bored, to be honest with you. A whole week without Hogleg, man. And KP's show, I don't know if I can take that anymore. We're going to have to pay him just so he don't take off no more. What you been up to, Brandon? You all right, are you? Huh? Oh, it's a beautiful morning. It's 57 degrees here today, man. You know what that sound is? That's the sound of me not complaining. I'm not sweating, so I'm good with that. Oh, Brandon, brother, I'm sorry to hear that, man. You know, I got a couple other friends that are living in their cars. Says a lot about this country, doesn't it? I don't know, man. Don't get me started on that one, brother. I'm sorry. If I had any means of helping you, I would. Uh, but taking care of mom and dad, I haven't been working a whole lot. In fact, I'm lucky my phone ain't shut off right now, to be honest with you, brother. Uh, if you need food, go to some churches. Churches are real good about hooking people up with food, okay? You know, don't go hungry. There's no reason to go hungry in this country. And let's try and get you a game plan uh, before wintertime, okay, man? Because it'll get cold here before long. But that's amazing you said that because you're not the first person I know that's in that situation right now. And like I said, it's horrible. That says a lot about our country. People have to live in their cars. Housing is so high right now. I mean, rent, let alone buying a house, is virtually impossible for a young person right now unless you're a veteran and they get a VA loan, you know. There is a pretty good program out there called a USDA loan, and I think your down payment's real low, or I don't know. My son used it to buy his house. The key being you got to buy in like a small town or a rural property or something. You know, you can't buy something in a big city. I forget what the USDA stands for. But boy, it sure is nice out here this morning. Trying to get a game plan for today. I got stuff. Hopefully, it stays sunny all day, and by evening I can mow. Because man, we've had rain for the last 2 days. I don't know if you can see how wet that grass is. Let's try and get down there close to it, and we can see. Da, 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 da. This is me doing my super fancy camera work, guys. See if you can see how wet that grass is across there. I can't really see it because I'm holding it down so low, but that grass is soaking wet. Uh, I would tell y'all to hit the thumbs up and all that, but that stuff really don't matter to me. I don't go live or do enough videos to worry about that. Hell, I don't even know how many subscribers I got, to be honest with you. You got food, Brandon? Okay, brother, that's all I worry about. As long as you got food, man, you know what? You're doing better. You got food and a roof over your head of any kind, you're doing better than about 70% of the world. Uh, us here in America, we're kind of spoiled. You know what I mean? In America, they consider poverty if you only have one TV and one car, it seems. And that's what I always count my blessings of what I do have. Hey, Chad, how are you, buddy? Beautiful morning, isn't it? 57 wonderful degrees out here. I'm fat. I'm not sweating, and that's a beautiful thing for me. The little guy. Thank you, brother. Little guy woke me up at, I don't know, it had to be 5:15 this morning to go out. And I was up after that. So I was like, oh, well, it is what it is, I reckon. So I got up, took him and the big dog out. You know, Chad, who else was I was talking to someone else that was sick? Somebody around here, man, that had the same thing. Who was that? Oh, I can't remember who it was now, but they were throwing up and was sick, and I think they had diarrhea too. Hey, Cleveland, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Sharing the sunrise with you guys. This is my backyard compared to where I lived this time last month. It's an awful nice thing. A good friend of mine blessed me with this out here. Kid I grew up with, known him my whole life. He's family. And he had bought this place and redone it. It's a modular. And the year after he buys it and fixes it up, he married some girl in the town south of us here, the first town south, and had to move down there. Yeah, yeah. Hey, man, how are you? Everything's good. No kidding. You went to bed and slept all that time. Are you getting sick, Chad, or is it just a stomach pain? Because if it's just a stomach pain and you're not sick or nothing, that could be something different. I know I had some serious issues about 8 years or 9 years ago. Almost died from diverticulosis or whatever that's called, and ended up having a perforation of my colon. I had this big infection, and I wasn't feeling good. And hey, Chris, how are you, buddy? I wasn't feeling good, and I told my girlfriend at the time, if I don't feel better by this evening, I'll go out to the hospital. And by the time she got off work, I couldn't even walk. They had to carry me. Okay, well, as long as something's moving, that's good. That's what I was worried about right there when you said pain in the stomach. Because when I got out to the hospital that evening, man, they freaked out, and it wasn't. They done a blood test, and within, I don't know, 5 minutes it coming back, they had IVs hooked up and antibiotics pumping through me, and said I had a massive infection inside me or something, and slammed me in the hospital. And I was like, man, I can't be in the hospital. I got appraisals to do. I'm going to lose my house if I do that. Man, what a morning. Compared to the last 2 mornings I woke up, you couldn't see anything but rain. Oh, you got a new bait pool, man? Dude, you'll have to show it to me. What kind of bait fish? Gillies? Shiners? Or did you go down the creek and catch anything? Show you over here, my neighbor. I don't know if you can see it very well, but his uh, septic system went bad and he's digging his own finger system. Been working on it about 2 weeks now. He's got this really cool dog, bluegill and crappie. Heck yeah. He's got this real cool dog named Bean, and short for Butterbean. He's just a big old goofy hound kind of dog. And my little dog just goes out and chases him around. It's hilarious. Steve Mosley, how are you, dude? A little bit of fog rising off the pastures out there, it looks like. I got some video I'm going to try and post today of, I don't know if ever see them red-tailed hawks? They're about probably 2 feet tall or so. And I was coming down the road yesterday. It's a highway. It was a highway, actually, and there was one on the side of the road eating a fresh roadkill. And as I drove by, he didn't even move. So I turned around and started filming him. And because I didn't know they ate roadkill, I thought they only, killed their own food or whatever. But I'm sitting there watching him, and this dude, I mean, there's cars going right by him within 3 feet of him, and he didn't move. Probably 4 or 5 cars, and then he grabbed a chunk of meat and flew up in a branch. And I got some video of it. I thought it was kind of cool. And then back here yesterday, it's not a blue heron. I don't know what this bird is, but it's about as big as one. But he's kind of black with like a tan chest and tan lower part of his face. He was out there walking around, and I snuck around the other side of the garage and got some video of him. Where you guys headed to, Steve? I could use a road trip. I know that. Heck, I'd be happy with a road trip just down to the Ohio River and back right now. I got a feeling my afternoon's going to be spent mowing. Yeah, I don't know. It's about 2 acres here, and I've got this massive riding lawnmower with a 30-inch deck. So it takes me a little while to mow it. Michigan, nice. What part? Any idea? I love Michigan. I spent a lot of time up there. 2 or 3 summers in a row going up there going surfing. Oh, did we get out of focus? There we go. That's better. Oh, really? Cool. I got to see this bait pool, man. Let me know when you post a video of it so I can go check it out. I know most people don't know how awesome the coast of Michigan is, man. That all the way up the west side of Michigan, and it's there's a lot of really cool places up through there, beaches and harbors and no way, seriously, a 24-foot above ground pool. That's cool. The question is, how do you get them out when you need them? And put on your shorts and get in there and start walking around with a big net. Yep, I seen the first swarm or gathering of blackbirds. Must be getting ready to head south. Dang, they're still coming. They ain't bunched up that much yet. I'll bet there were 300 or 400 of them. Oops, sorry, camera dropped because I don't pay attention. Oh, a cast net. No way, that's cool. Fishing pole. Yep, you don't have to leave the house. Hope it's close enough you can stand on the back deck and cast into it. Hook the bottom and rip the bottom out of it. Robin egg blue sky. How pretty. I do got an appraisal report I need to work on. Finished one last night, and I seen a condo Monday, I think it was. So at least I'm getting a little work now. Things are starting to calm down moving wise. I still got stuff from my room. I just got my desk and everything set up so I could do some work. But it seems every time I start to get ready to do some work, something happens with Pop or Mom, and then I get thrown off again. I think, you know, Newcastle, you know where Newcastle is? There's a park there, okay? As you on the north side of town, as you're coming in from Muncie on Highway 3, there's a big park there. You can't miss it. It's got like 3 ponds or small lakes, ponds. And there's one pond that's up on the middle there, dude. And I'm telling you, they're not big, but you probably catch 10 or 11 carp in an afternoon. I've, I don't know if I think I've been on a couple of stands, Sunday shows there. But I haven't been there this year, but it's, oh, when you turn in, there's a small pond right by the highway, and you turn in and kind of come up a little hill, and then there's that bigger pond. And there's a little bridge with a couple lights on it, and you can pull off right there and fish off the side. There's like some cement steps, and you can fish in the big pond that way. And old mechanic, how you doing, man? I've been worried about you, buddy. I hadn't seen you. I seen you doing one live the other day, and I keep checking, and I hadn't seen you live. Are you okay? You got some rain up there finally, did you? Are you going to go live today so I got something to watch while I'm working? But anyway, that pond up there, I haven't caught anything big, but I think one day I caught 6 or 8. I don't know, maybe a foot and a half long. Nothing over 2 foot, uh, carp there that day. So I don't know if it's worth your drive there, or if you got something to keep them alive long enough to get back home afterwards. But I'm trying to, then there's the Muncie Reservoir, but it's hit or miss. And I've caught, they're not one after another, but I've, had an afternoon where I caught 6 or 7 there. Some of them pretty big. But if that's the size you're after, okay, old mechanic, I'll be looking, buddy, because I was worried about you. I hadn't, your wife was gone there for a while and you was on for a bit, and then I hadn't seen you. So I'll look for you this afternoon or a little bit later this morning. I'm not going to be here much longer, because I got stuff to do and I can't sit here and hold this camera all day. Because I'm doing it. I'm doing this with my cell phone sitting here propped up on my knee. But Henry County Memorial Park. Yeah, that would be it, I would suppose. If you're looking at it on the map, you would see the little pond right next to the highway, and then right up above it is the bigger pond. And there's a little bridge there, and you can actually fish that other pond, that bigger pond up there, about anywhere around, because you could cast across it. It's pretty big, but with an abu reel and a 10-foot rod, you could cast across it almost. And what I done is, you know, them things you throw a ball with for a dog to chase. It's like that little handle thing with a little scoop on the end. Pack up some pack bait in one of them and chuck it out there, 20 yards or so, and chum that up, and then bam. Let me know if you're going to go over. I may try to drive over and meet you one afternoon or something. My little Ford needs a battery. My Escape, my fishing vehicle. Yep, where you're at, you could take 65 up around the east side of Indy and take 70 over and get off 3 and just drive through Newcastle and easy money. But my Escape, the ignition got to where you turn the key and it wouldn't do anything. Well, I'd done some research online and found that you could push in on the key and turn it and it would start. And that worked for about a year and a half. Well, it finally quit working naturally when I'm moving. And so there's this part, it was $30 or whatever. And it took me about 15, 20 minutes to put it on. But my Ford sit there for probably 3 weeks and the battery was dead. So I went to jump it and I turned the key and it still wouldn't do it. I don't know if I got a bad part or what. It kind of, I bought the cheap one offline and I should have just went to the parts store and bought the good one. You know what I'm saying? That's on me. I know better. So as soon as I get my next check, I'm going to get the one at the parts store and put it on. But I'm pretty sure that battery's shot. It's probably 6 years old, I'd imagine, or more. It was in it when I bought the vehicle, and I think I've had it about 6 years, maybe. I don't know. I mean, heck, it's only got 200,000 miles on it. It's just now getting broke in. Hi, Jody. Good morning. Yeah, dad and mom's doing pretty decent, to be honest with you. Mom's doing great after. Oh, hi, Telly. I'm sorry I didn't see you, honey. Mom's doing great after she got the pain pump put in, and the bad part is she's got, what is that, macular degeneration or whatever in her left eye, and her right eye was literally perfect. Basically, she was blind in her left eye. She got macular degeneration in the right eye. Well, I've been praying for her, 3+1, and all of them have been praying and everything. And she, believe it or not, she's seeing out of that eye. It's not perfect, but she could read the TV guide on the TV the other day, standing about 4 or 5 feet back from it. And I don't know if you believe in miracles or not, but I sure do. Especially now. I was skeptical, but it's amazing. We had her at the eye doctor last week, and they were like, well, yeah, sometimes you'll get vision and it'll come and go. But it's been, oh, I don't know, 3 weeks now, maybe. And I'm still a skeptic, so we'll see. Well, thank you, Telly. Yeah, this is my backyard. I got a friend that blessed us to come out here and live in the country. And it's done so much for my dad's mental attitude, because he was sitting around the house doing nothing at the old house, and just kind of down in the dumps. And he's doing pretty good out here. He goes out and mows and generally tries to drive me crazy most of the time. But it's been really, really good for his mind. And that's what my best friend, the reason he uh, come by and wanted us to move out here, because he's known my dad, our whole life, and he wanted dad to have somewhere decent to spend the rest of his life. We don't know how long he has, but he he at least will have a nice place, because I don't plan on putting him in a nursing home or anything like that. Even when it gets bad, I'm going to keep him here as long as I can. Jody, my little dog, I'm telling you, I'm going to put an ad in the paper for him if he keeps waking me up at 5:15 every freaking morning, 5:15 to 5:30. I don't know what it is, but I've been up since 5:15 this morning, and I used to sleep in till the sun came up. Yeah, Jody, I'm telling you, I 100% believe in the power of prayer, man. And I don't know, I would be in church on Sunday, and a couple weeks ago I told, because my faith is pretty shaky because of all the stuff that's happened. And I was telling God, man, show me something, show me something to let me at least get some faith. 5:15, that's sleeping in 2 hours for you. No way, man. You get up that early? The heck you get up that early for, man? You ain't got kids or nothing to wake up to take care of. You kidding me? You don't work nights, do you, Chris? To where you got in the habit of getting up that early? Goodness gracious. Heck no. Well, I don't usually get in bed till after midnight anyway, any nights, I'd say. Because that way, if I stay up till midnight, I can get the dogs out. Yeah, I get the sloppy wet kiss across the face, telling me too. Little guy gets up there, and he's was supposed to be a Chihuahua, but he's part Chihuahua, probably part Jack Russell or something. So he's about the size of my other little guy was, who lived 18 years, by the way. So I'm digging that. But he jumps up in the bed and he will lick my face until I get up. I don't care if I threw him off the bed 100 times. He's getting back up there. I couldn't imagine life without dogs, man. I love them. And then Tilly, the bigger dog, she's chill, man. She's like the ultimate chill dog. And when grandma was alive, I don't know, she was probably 97, 98 at the time, but she'd get up every morning and have graham crackers and coffee. And I noticed in about a year's time, my dog just kept getting fatter and fatter. And I thought, what in the heck is up with that dog? So then I started watching. Well, grandma would eat a half a graham cracker and hand Tilly a whole one. And she'd been doing this every morning for 2 years, probably. I didn't notice. And she cracked me up because I was sitting there one day and I said, Granny, are you feeding my dog graham crackers? Nope. And I just sit there and watched her hand him one. I laughed. I said, you got to be kidding me. I just know I ain't feeding it. That dog gets them herself off the table. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But when someone's 100 years old, you pretty much can't tell them not to do anything because they don't care. But I laughed. But she's been out here now. And, Bean, the dog next door, I wish he'd come out so I could show you. He's a big old, I don't know what he is, but he just reminds me of a big old goofy dog. And he's not a year old yet, but he comes out and little guy chases him all around. And Tilly's been actually running a little bit, which is amazing. What a great morning, man. There's not a breath of wind blowing. This would be the perfect day to be on the reservoir here in Muncie fishing right now. but I'm gonna have to go get my poles out of the Ford and throw a couple poles and maybe a tackle box in the back of the Buick just so I can at least go out and try and fish one evening or something because I'm dying. I hadn't. I've only been out twice, but moving and all that stuff. And I've seen your dogs on the live on the Hawgleg show. They are big. But moving, and as my friend Robbie Armatrout used to always say, I'd see him at the bar. We were in our 20s, and he'd be like, "Yo, Bugman, buy me a beer, man. I'm financially embarrassed today." So I've been financially embarrassed this summer because I just hadn't got to work that much with everything that goes on. And it's starting to pick up a little bit now, though. And sometimes you got to realize it ain't the money. I can make money anytime, but my pop ain't going to be here forever. I need to take him fishing, but I can't take him on the little boat because he's too shaky. He drives me nuts because he wants to stand up all the time. And I told him, I can't take you no more, man. You know, you scare me to death standing up in the boat. He's 84. And, well, I swim to the shore. I'm like, no, you can't. I'm like, I can't get you back in this boat. Hey, Uncle Lou, how are you, buddy? I explained to him, like, Pop, if you fall in that water, there's no way I get you back in this boat by myself. And he's like, well, I'll just hold on and we'll pull into the shore and I can get back in that way. I'm like, no, there's no way. So I can't take him fishing down to strip pits in the little boat. I just mentioned something to J Dog. I may try and get him down there this fall to go fishing on the river one time before he gets too bad that he can't go anymore. Because on a pontoon, I think I'd be okay. Even though we'll have an argument over wearing a life jacket, because he'll say, "Oh, they don't have life jacket. It's a pontoon." No, you need a life jacket, Pop, because I don't trust you. You could fall off of here. And I think this winter I got, let's see, an '83 Honda 550, an old dirt bike, an '84 Moto Guzzi. I think I'm gonna clean them all up and sell them, and maybe buy me a boat next year. Nothing fancy, but just something I can go fishing in. Jody, get you a little dog, man. I'm telling you, I never thought I'd have a little dog, and I lived in an apartment when I got divorced with me and my son. And I thought, man, it wouldn't be fair, to put a big dog in an apartment. So I got a little one, and they're cool as heck. They live forever. Mine lived 18 years, and just great companions. You can take them in the car, the truck with you, and I'll have a little dog from now on the rest of my life. Yep, the neighbor's rooster's crowing. Must be time to get up. He's a little late though. Ah, I hate to do it, guys, but I'm going to have to end this and go in here and check my work emails. Well, see, that's the best part about a little dog, Jody. You take it with you because they're not a problem. Just take them with you. And if you forget the dog food, they can eat whatever you eat. Believe me, mine do. And they're hilarious to fish with, especially the first couple times they see a fish flopping on the bottom, they'll freak out. Sure, you can. You can always get your doctor to write you a prescription for a support animal, and then you can take it anywhere you go. You know, because of the politically correctness of the United States these days, they can't do nothing about it. So sometimes you can play their game against them. Can y'all hear the train? It's about a quarter or a half mile or so west of me, and I clocked it on the highway the other day. They come through here at 60 mile an hour. I was running on the highway parallel to it the other day, and I was running 60, and it was right even with me. So it's probably not a good idea to try to beat it across the crossings here. But it's kind of funny because I don't really hear none after, say, maybe 8:30 at night. I don't hear none after that. So, and then in the house you can't hear them anyway. Oh, Chris, I don't know how she doesn't kill you, man. I swear to God, I don't. You guys are the best. I can't wait to go fishing with you guys. I honestly can't. Uncle Lou, you been doing any fishing? You guys got some pretty good rain over in Iowa the last week or this week, didn't you? I think what we got was worse coming through there when I was watching the news the other day. Mhm. That's all right, Jody. I am too, man. I think if you're not normal these days. Emotionally unbalanced. Yeah, that's a nice way to say it for me. I'm just freaking nuts. I thought about through the VA I could get a support dog thing or whatever, but Dad would be lost if I took little guy with me everywhere. Cause that's his name, little guy, Lil guy. That's my little guy. He is, ain't he? When I come fishing with you and Chris, really, 10 inches? No kidding. My God, you guys would have been out in the kayak just to get around town. Is it going to get hot? Yeah, see, it was 57 this morning when I got up. So that means if you're getting hot now, that's going to hit us in about 3 days or 2 days after it hits you. I'm no man, I don't need that. I was digging this weather this morning. Felt like fall time. Because as I've mentioned in the past, I'm fat. I sweat, and I don't care. I ain't afraid to say it. There's a little pond back there that's more like a swamp in the summer. I've noticed. I did see a turtle and some small bluegill in it, but before this rain came, night before last and last night, it was almost dried up. Mid 90s. Yep. guess who's going to be in the house most of the time when that happens, especially during the daytime? That would be me, the fat guy who sweats. But I walk back there in the mornings. Usually, I'll walk back there with the little guy and Tilly, and look down on the bank. There's all kinds of raccoon prints along the bank, like I don't know if they're trying to get crawfish, crayfish, or what. And there's a lot of frogs back there too. I hear them and see them jump in when I walk back there. But I haven't seen the raccoons yet. And I'm praying that the little dog doesn't ever see them, because if he does, it's over with. I'll never be able to keep them in the house. Yep, I'm going to go in here and watch the news actually and see what the week forecast says. So I probably, depending on what the weather is the next 2 days, will dictate whether I do an appraisal report today or do something outside. Yeah, Uncle Lou frogs. They ain't very big though, because when I see them jump in, they don't make a very big splash. You know what I mean? And no matter how hard I try to sneak up there, they still jump just as I get to the edge. It's about I don't know, 2.5 foot drop down to where the bank, the shoreline is. Low 80s. Is there going to be any rain, Telly? Do you know in the next couple of days? Because if we're going to get a rain day between now and Friday, then I'll do my report on the rain day and I'll mess around doing stuff outside the next couple of days. But if it's not going to rain in them days, I'll just go ahead and knock it out today. And then that frees me up for the rest of the week unless something else comes in. I bid on a couple, but oh, okay, yeah. See, I don't know nothing about catcher. They're good bait, huh? I have to talk to you sometime about like how you hook them and stuff like that. Do you use them live or interesting? I've never really spent any time catching frogs. I do know there's these two toads up here by the porch every night. I have to come out before I bring little guy out and run him off the porch, because if I don't, he tries to eat them. And if you get out here before daylight, there's a big owl in a tree back there. You can hear him every morning hooting. 40% on Thursday. See, that's 60% that don't, though, for me. That's how I live my life. Just step on them till you hear them pop. I like it. that's how I, that's how, crack me up. Uh, J Dog would take them little bitty shiners and slam them down on the ground. And I asked him what he'd do it for. Well, my brother said it was cruel to hook them alive, so I slam them on the ground and kill them. Hey, Rustic, how are you, buddy? It's good to see you, man. A nice big apple tree right there, too, man. They're just about big enough to start picking. I'm going to make some fried apples or whatever you call it. And then my buddy who owns the house got two freezers in that garage, and he just bought a half a beef and a half a hog. It's all stocked up with meat. And and keys hanging up behind that. There's a thing in the garage there. Just wherever you want something, just get in there and get it. Putting shoe goo on. I like it. And I know that sausage, let's see, last night and a couple nights before, but I made some sausage gravy for biscuits and gravy. And you can just tell the difference. It's such a big difference in the flavor of that meat that's grown locally like that, and not, the mass produced cattle or whatever. And especially the beef, man. The beef has such a better taste. It's more tender. I like the hamburger. I use it to make chili. And if I had my grill here, I'd use it to make some hamburgers. But I don't like hamburgers cooked on a skillet or whatever. Oh, I got 7:46. Yeah, looks like it. I'll probably shut this down here directly and go get busy and act like a responsible adult today. I find that hard to do the older I get. I'm sitting on the back porch. Rustic Pop's in there sleeping, and Mom's sleeping, and I can't hardly leave Pop by himself anymore. He Some days he wakes up and he's perfectly fine, and some days he wakes up and it's like he almost doesn't even know where he's at. You know what I mean? So for one, it's an extra 30 minutes to where I fish at last year, where I was fishing to here. So I'm looking at almost 45 minutes to an hour to get back home if something happened. So I don't know, until I can get somebody to come and hang out with them for a weekend or something, I'm pretty much stuck. But, you know, it is what it is. Mom does okay, but if he falls or something, then there's nothing she can do. He fell twice here already, once in the shower, and once he got out of bed and put his slippers on or something and slipped. And I was like, it's laminate wood flooring. I'm like, Pop, don't wear the slippers. It's real simple. Don't put them on until you get over in the carpet. Plans change. That sucks. Are you gonna? Well, maybe it don't suck. Are you going fishing and the plans changed, or you got a honey-do list and the plans changed? Yeah, his feet will get cold. That's why he wears the slippers. But I told him, he can walk the 20 feet into where the carpet starts in the dining room. You know, my little dog just whined. He's sitting there looking out the window at me at the sliding door. You poor guy. All right, I'm coming in. Hold on. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Little guy sitting at the door whining. I don't want him to wake Pop up. And I just got up this morning and was like, man, I am so lost without Hawgleg's show. So I thought, it's a really nice sunrise coming up. I looked out there and it was still just kind of starting to get orange. I was like, I'll go out there and go live and film and, watch the sunrise with everybody. And I appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out with me today. And what is today? Wednesday? 4 more days. And we'll have the Hog Leg show back, 5, whatever it is. And I hope he's having a good time. I haven't read the update on KP yesterday because I was busy. So when we get off here, that's what I'm going to go do. And Chris, get with me if you're going to go up there to Newcastle and catch carp. Uh, Holler at me and let me know if by chance I can get away. I'll come up there and fish with you. It just all depends on what's happening. I mean, I may bring Dad up with me, and that way I don't have to worry about leaving him here, and we can hang out. Bye, Jody, Jody, and my Jody, Jody. All right, I'll see you guys. I'm out of here.